Welcome to College Bound Student Loan Training. You should have already completed the introduction to this webinar, which reviews basic loan types and provides supplemental resources for all sections of the training. If you have not yet completed the required reading, please click the link below to access the slideshow. Part 1 of the student loan training will discuss how your students can access their total student loan debt. It's important that a student looks this information up prior to your conversations on repayment, as it will give them time to reflect and brainstorm questions for your meeting. Before we begin visiting portals, let's review the types of loans that many college-bound students accept during their college careers. As you can see, there are 5 main types of student loans: Federal Perkins, Federal Direct Subsidized and Unsubsidized, Scholarship Foundation, Institutional, and Private loans. These loans are listed from most recommended to least recommended. Please pause the video now to review the differences between these loans before continuing. Now we can begin talking about how students access these totals before a one-on-one meeting with you. Ideally, a student should know every loan that they've accepted, but if they do not, they may need to use each of these portals just to make sure. Let's start with nslds.gov. Keep in mind that a student will need their FSA ID to log into this website, so make sure that they have the resources they need to complete the login process. If you're unsure about what this process looks like, please discuss with your manager. NSLDS is the National Student Loan Data System. Students, parents, and financial aid staff alike can use this website to review total federal loan debt. You can see that after a borrower logs in, the home page provides a list of each individual loan that borrower has accepted. This account specifically only shows subsidized and unsubsidized loans, but would also reflect Perkins loan debt if the student had accepted it. At the bottom of this list here, you'll see a summary of the student's current unsubsidized and subsidized loan debt, as well as the loan's accrued interest, plus a total for each column. There is also a button at the top for My Student Data Download, which provides a text document of each loan and all of its origination information. This document's a little messy, so in general, it's equally as helpful to just use the summary page. But if a student wants to print information for their records, the download could be helpful. To continue, we'll click on an individual loan. Let's scroll down here. As you can see, this page goes into a lot more detail about the specific loan, but we really just want to pay attention to a few sections at the bottom of the loan summary here. The first is this Disbursements and Statuses section, which shows the loan status and tells you whether or not a student is in repayment. Unfortunately, this information is not updated in a reasonable time frame often, so it may be a bit out of date. However, it does give you a general idea of when a student might exit their grace period, a fact that can really help them plan for repayment. Now, just below the status, you'll see the Servicer, Lender, Guarantee Agency, Ed Servicer information. This is the organization that the student must contact in order to set up a repayment plan other than a standard plan, or to request forbearance or forgiveness. There are 4 current servicers, which are all backed by a contract with the federal government. This loan servicer is Nelnet. Contact information is in this box as well, should the student need it. From here, let's go to a servicer portal. I'm going to use Nelnet as an example. After you log in, you'll see a home page, which shows a due date and the current amount due. Although not all servicer portals look exactly the same, they should have at least this information in a prominent place on the home page. There will also be a section for the student's in-portal email and current balance, like this one to the right. You'll also have a user menu, like this one to the top right, that gives you the opportunity to update information, go paperless, and manage authorized individuals on your account. Remember, nobody can access the student's account information without their permission, even if they're just trying to make a payment, so if the student anticipates that someone else will help them out, they should go ahead and put them as an authorized payer. Now, most servicer portals also have a live chat option, which on Nelnet's site is underneath of this help button. You can also email the organization directly through this menu as well. Last, let's take a look at this main user menu. It provides a quick reference for all of the sections of the user's portal: homepage, loan details, payments, and documents. If you click on any of these, you'll get menus that can take you to the right place. For example, click Payments to look at different repayment options, or click Documents to get tax information. For the last section of Part 1, we're going to take a look at a supplemental counseling website, studentloans.gov. Studentloans.gov is another tool offered by the federal government, and just like NSLDS, it's linked to the student's FSA ID. So make sure they have that information available if you're planning on using this in your conversation with them. A student can access a lot of different tools through this website, but we're just going to look at counseling specifically. There are so many options, it wouldn't be realistic to go through them now. As you can see on this page, there are several different types of counseling sessions, and each takes about 30 minutes to complete. A student is required now to do entrance counseling for each school that they attend if they accept loans, but they may redo the counseling any time if they feel they need to. In addition, a student can complete financial awareness counseling or even exit counseling during their enrollment as an undergraduate student. Go ahead and disregard this section for plus credit counseling. It's not going to be relevant to an undergraduate student. Also, as you're looking through these tools, keep in mind that if you have a student that seems to want to keep evaluating their ability to pay or their plans for repayment, make sure to guide them towards these resources rather than rehashing the conversation over and over. We want to teach them self-efficacy and allow them to reflect before coming back to you with additional questions, which you should absolutely offer if necessary. Now, the last thing I want to show you on this site is the repayment estimator. We won't go through an example, but know that this is the most reliable and well-rounded loan calculator for a student who has only accepted federal loans. Let me repeat that really quickly. This is the best calculator, but only for a student who has accepted only federal loans. If a student has scholarship foundation or private loans, they should use a combination of calculators to get the best idea of what their repayment will look like. This ends Part 1 of College Bound Student Loan Training. Feel free to log into the website reviewed for better understanding of functionality so that you can help guide students through any difficulties. Links to all websites have been placed in the comments, and they are also listed here. If you're ready to begin Part 2 of the training, please click the videos below.